Hello, everyone. For the few remaining standers, if you go have a seat, we'll start right away. Oh, hi. You know, this is one of the greatest events that I get to do. And it says right here in my notes, I'm supposed to say, welcome to the 4th biannual Top 7 Over 70 Awards. Now, that's a lot of numbers in one sentence. So what it means is every 7 years, 4 people, no, I don't know what it means. It means every 2 years we come in this room and we celebrate people who are over 70 and are doing outstanding things in our community. So I just need to check, by applause, how many people in this room is this your first one of these events? Let me hear from you. Wow. And how many people have been to this event before? Let me hear from you. So it's about a 50-50 split. Well, those of you that this is your first time, you are in for such a fun and inspiring and exciting and tremendous night. And because many of the people in this room are not 25, we all get to go home early. So isn't that great? Yeah. My name is Dave Kelly, and I couldn't be more excited to be here as your master of ceremonies again this evening. Let me explain the rundown of the evening and how it's going to work so that you're all comfortable. We're going to have a blessing. This is when I say we're going to have a blessing, what you hear is a bunch of people put down their forks and go, oh shoot, we weren't supposed to start, were we? That's okay. I won't tell mom if you don't. So we're going to have a blessing. Then we're going to have a salad. During that salad, we're going to have a few dignitaries come up here and speak. And then there's 7 people we're going to honor. We're going to meet 2 of them before supper. Then we're going to have the main course where we all get to hang out and chat. And then we have the last 5 during the dessert, if that makes sense. So it's all very simple and all very straightforward. Now, I think I get to do a land acknowledgement when I do these sorts of things, but tonight is especially important because there is a long tradition in this very land of honoring our elders, looking at them for wisdom, looking at their experience, and hearing from their insights. So it makes sense that we get to celebrate tonight on the traditional territories of the Blackfoot Confederacy, which of course include the Siksika, the Piikani, and the Kainai. We also acknowledge the Tsuut'ina and Stoney Nakoda First Nations, Métis Region 3, and all people who make their homes and live their lives here in the land of Treaty 7. Now, last year, one of the top 7 over 70 honorees, Miksika, is a Canadian Indigenous leader. So we asked him if he could do a prayer and a blessing in Blackfoot and English. And he did such a beautiful job last year. And to celebrate his work, we wanted to play that again. So here he is.
Ai Tibetapio. Ai Gibidaki. Kapoa kamukiranoksich koikaki. Hauks nog kawatsumui kahtamaaks nog sinti kakkiawaki. Ogaks soka piona tokanos saaks ajana kuieniksi. Ikitsi kipipposteeksaniksi. Hanniksi otstoimsoais sanakkoe. Ai Tibetapio nog kawakamukina kanassokaappi. Ahkomaan sitä sokaappi ni päätäpiussani siistumsin taksouma tapskuukin. Ajoista päätäpiu, mitkä on poatse muikka näyttäpiu. Aukis streamiksi, akautit skaatun kääksanaakkoja. Oot sitä piimua, eikö hän oot skimmaan, eikö sähkaa päätsä nykyään. Hän istu tästut siipoja. Aukis päätäpiu, pommoukin näin. Ei taamkana vaan niitä kääpumahkahpinaan. Sähkät siitä aamahkanohpinaan. Hän nikä issohtsekä, aukis päätäpiu. Niitä kannattaa poatse muikka näyttäpiu. Hännekin ohkan sitten katsomattomasti päätäpiu. Haukin oksihka tuupina nappiuusen. Niistä vatsamaan kammottaani ahsi päätäpius. Ajoista päätäpiu. Aiki pitääkin. Auki. We ask our Father, the Creator, and Mother Earth, our grandmother of the earth, that you guide us and bless us this today. All those that are receiving the recognition as the top 7 over 70, that their families will continue to remember the achievements of those that are receiving this prestigious award. I pray they call on me to call on you, Creator, to bless all the families and all that came, and all those that have gone ahead. I pray that we continue to work together and do the things that you have guided us to do right here on Mother Earth. I pray that we take the good thoughts and the memories of this night, that we continue to help each other in every way we can. Okay, I pray that these things will come about in the future, that we continue to honor ourselves and our people. I pray these for all people. I pray for good fortune, good raising of our children, and I pray for all the right things to always look to our Creator in everything that we do.
You never know if you should clap at the end of those or not, but I think we should. How about that? So, in the interest of time, we want to have a few folks speak, but we don't want to keep you from your salads. So that's why we made the salad not particularly crunchy, so that we could still have speakers up here and you could enjoy your salad. So please gently enjoy your salad while I introduce our first speaker here today. Would you please welcome to the stage our Mayor, Jyoti Gondek. Come on up here, Mayor.
Oki Ambawastich, Dada Nastara, Tansei everyone. Greetings to all of you in the mother languages of the indigenous peoples who've stewarded these lands for generations before we all came to settle here at the confluence of the Bow and Elbow rivers. And my sincere gratitude to Elder Mixicum for his blessings to start us in a good way today. It is an absolute pleasure to be with all of you today, celebrating some amazing leaders in our community. All 7 people who are being honored tonight have excelled in so many different ways in being city builders, community capacity builders, and just all around incredible folks. And I have to say, it's interesting that 2 of the people that I consider my mentors are being recognized tonight. John Scott taught me pretty much everything I needed to know about film and movie production. He was kind enough to pick out a very good horse for me for this year's Stampede Parade. Very happy to see him getting this well-deserved recognition. And Ron Gitter. I've known Ron for a few years, and he was actually in charge of the advisory council for the Westman Center for Real Estate Studies when I started there. And this is a human being who gave me a lot of tips and advice on commercial real estate and much, much more. So I'm really proud to be in the company of all of the award winners, as well as so many of you in this room who have won in previous years, and many of you who will probably win into future years, thanks to Jim Gray setting up this great evening for all of us. So I hope you enjoy yourselves, celebrate with your friends, and have a wonderful time.
Thank you, Mayor. And I know you're all saying, that's amazing, the mayor's here. Is the premier going to be here? Yes, she is, but that's after supper, so you'll have to wait for that. Speaking of public service, we want to recognize Alberta's Minister of Technology and Innovation, Nate Glubish, is here somewhere, I believe. Nate, wherever you are, thanks for being here. Let's give Nate a round of applause wherever he is. Thank you, Nate. So it's no surprise that an event this great and this well-attended takes a lot of people to pull it off. So I would like to introduce you to the one who leads that tribe, the Top 7 Over 70 Executive Committee Chairwoman. Would you welcome to the stage with me, Monica Zarowski. Come on up here, Monica.
Good evening. I'm really thrilled to see all of you here tonight. The Top 7 Over 70 program is one of the most innovative initiatives in Canada right now, representing an idea that is so vital. We need to better recognize, engage, and celebrate the work and contributions of older adults. It's key. Why is that? Well, right now it's one of the growing demographics in our country. Almost 1 in 5 adults is already 65 or older. That's what Stats Can says. And that demographic is growing 6 times faster than the age group of kids 15 and under. Now, Jim Gray, the founder of Top 7 Over 70, He was really ahead of the curve identifying this kind of thing, and he, for many years, has talked about the importance of older adults in our future economy and society. I still recall the day when Jim and Brian Fileski came to my office at the Calgary Herald. They sat down to convince me to become involved in Top 7 over 70. It's true what they say about Jim. When he comes to your office on a mission, he does not leave until that mission is complete. And lucky for me, that was the case, because working with this group and meeting so many amazing Top 7 nominees and recipients has been an honor and a joy. I also have the honor of thanking our wonderful, generous sponsors. So please hold your applause for a moment until I acknowledge all of them. Our gold sponsors include Alberta Blue Cross, Bill and Ruth Kuyat, Brookfield, CN Rail, CPKC, David and Gail O'Brien, Hyatt Regency, Jamin Built, Pekarsky & Co., Post Media, Sandstone Asset Management, Shell Canada, Stephanie and Brian Fileski, Trico Living Well, and WestJet. Our silver sponsors include Synovus, Dick and Lois Haskane, Enbridge, Encore, Falk Built, Highlander Wine and Spirits, Jim Gray, Mike Colburn, Peak Sellers, PG Foundation, RGO, the Elvin and Mona Libben Foundation, the Edward, Tourmaline Oil Corp, United Active Living, W. Brett Wilson, WCD, and of course we thank our many bronze sponsors and many patrons who are all listed on page 5 of your program. Altogether, they have helped us raise an astounding $730,000 for Intergen programs. We thank them for their vision and their support of this vital project. Now, it's hard to find someone like Dave Kelly to host an event like this. His talents are so unique, and he's been with us from the start, from the first gala. So I also have a big thank you to Dave Kelly, Rob Kelly, Amy Lippold, the team at Kelly Brothers, along with Lisa Marks and her team at Brand Alive, who are doing an incredible job of making sure tonight happens. And very importantly, I want to thank the person who puts her heart, her soul, and countless hours into ensuring this gala happens each time around, Emily Hillman. Thank you, Emily. Give us a wave. At this point in the program, we have the pleasure of hearing from Top 7 over 70 founder Jim Gray. And so over to you, Jim.
Well, good evening. First, I did a bit of a disclaimer. I've got kind of a sore throat, and I want to assure everybody that that's all I've got. I've got experts, both external and internal, and they all agree that all you got is a sore throat. So, just wanted everybody to be at ease on that. I am certainly pleased. I'm delighted to see all of you here tonight and to witness your incredible generosity. You know, we are making a significant contribution because together we are redefining what aging means in our society, starting right here in Calgary. You know, the idea of retirement was first raised in the 1880s. And it seemed like a good idea at the time, but of course back then, the average life expectancy was in the order of 50 years. These days, we have people who live for decades once they retire. And it's a shame to think some parts of society don't recognize the value. They undervalue what older adults can contribute. The truth is that older adults represent a powerhouse of potential. They can help drive the economy. They can create jobs. You're going to be hearing tonight about candidates who are starting companies when they're well into their 80s. They can help drive the economy. They can mentor thousands of young people. We're doing that with Intergen. And by the way, Intergen, Brian Fileski was the founder of Intergen. They make countless charitable and philanthropic projects successful. We have seen this demonstrated over and over again since starting the 7 over 70 program 6 years ago. We have seen people in their 70s, 80s, 90s, and even hundreds making a real difference in our community, with many starting new ventures and new adventures. Their contributions occur in all areas, in business, in science, medicine, the arts, in sports, fitness, philanthropy, the environment, and more, and so many more fields. Being here tonight, you're helping us shine a light on these contributions together. And together we are redefining, slowly, I understand, but we are step by step redefining what aging is all about. We see Calgary's Top 7 over 7 project as potentially a movement, a concept that can spread right across Canada, but we're not in a rush. We've got lots of time. And so, but I am pleased to note tonight that a new branch of the Top 7 over 70 has sprouted up, come to us. A top 7 over 70 project will be held in Medicine Hat roughly a year from today. And by the way, we're thrilled to have a group of their organizers who are already meeting. That's what Alberta is all about. The community is leading this, not the government leading this. This is the community leading this. And maybe I shouldn't say that. I hope the Premier isn't here yet. But at any rate, we're thrilled to have those organizers here tonight with us. I wonder if they'd stand up just to be recognized for a moment. Where are they? There they are over there. Great. So again, to everyone here tonight, thank you, thank you, thank you for all your support today, and we'll meet again 2 years from this month, again at the Hyatt. And in closing, just let me say one thing. Monica, the chairman, has made an outstanding leadership contribution to this year's Gold Gala and program, from the strategy and from the tactical details. It's taken a year to plan tonight, and Monica has the one to make it happen. As Brian Fileski says, she put the ball in the basket. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim. I just want to say I was there tonight when Jim Gray said the following words, "Not in a rush, there's plenty of time." When has Jim Gray ever said that in his life? And he said it here, and we were all here to see it. As he makes his way down, let's recognize this great man one more time. The night has just started, and I just feel lucky. I get to be here and hang out with you and all of these great people. And speaking of great people, Brian Fileski, his baby is Intergen. That's something he's worked up. He's the chair, and we're going to hear from him in a bit. But to help set the stage for what Brian's about to say, they sent a video. Let's have a look at that.
This whole business of intergenerational activity in business and in the other areas is one of the outgrowths of the Top 7 over 70. It was actually Brian Fileski that had the idea that what we would do is introduce Intergen.
We decided, let's do an intergenerational organization. which would provide a platform for matching senior sage people with young entrepreneurs, and let's help finance them and keep them here in Alberta.
So we put together a fund based on the fact that we would invest in companies that had product market fit. They were ready to go to market with their product, but they needed more capital to make that happen.
Intergen is a unique organization because you've got this pool of people that have this incredible business experience through the decades. And for the entrepreneurs that want to scale, you have access to people that have had experience, and you can utilize them as you need them.
All of that information that they don't know is easily available through our network of Intergen Business Advisors.
In the early days, we needed a lot of advice around how do we scale. The advice that we received really helped us scale the right way.
From the very beginning, Intergen's been so supportive of the Calgary technology and startup ecosystem.
And their great network has certainly opened very important doors for us as a startup company in Calgary.
It is a Calgary thing because Calgary was built on people helping each other. This is the entrepreneurial spirit of Alberta.
Having investment in small business as well as entrepreneurs, they need the investment in order for them to grow and survive and thrive. It's the key to our economy.
It takes a village to raise a baby, and I feel that startups and entrepreneurship is very much that same concept where it takes a village to raise an idea.
It's just really unbelievable to see the connection between our advisors and our entrepreneurs.
It's a synergy that is electric, it's magic.
Whether an entrepreneur is 27 or 77, they all have the power to shape our city. There's nothing wrong with making the world a better place to live.
It always is a struggle when you're building a business. It's a challenge, but Intergen has helped make it a little bit easier.
Just to see the excitement and the thought and the innovation that goes behind a lot of these products it's just so exciting to me to be a part of.
I'm not here to tell you how you want to help our entrepreneurs, but once you get in a room and see them, you'll know. And that's the fun part about what we do.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, all of you. And I'm calling upon our mighty, small, fantastic Intergen team to join me up here. Please say thanks. Sandy, Khaled, Emily, and Tony. I can't believe the heavy lifting that this small and mighty team does with fantastic support from our volunteer board and our volunteer advisors. Together, with your support, we're making a very proud difference. So let me start on behalf of our team and all the companies and all the advisors that you're putting together with a very sincere thank you, thank you, thank you. As was mentioned, all the proceeds from this wonderful event go to advance the work of Intergen. Today, we're at about $735,000, and with the proceeds from the exciting auction, WestJet helping us with Dreamliner connection for 4 people any place in the world with luxury accommodation, limousine services, we could well be $750,000. So get bidding straight away. You'll see the app on your table, and we'd love to see that momentum start. Also, as Jim had said, we have to express our thanks to Monica Zarowski and all of the Gala volunteer team. Have to say, the prodigious work ethic, the perspiration and the inspiration is very uplifting, and it's been our pleasure to work with that team, our honor to work with those people, long hours, to great satisfaction and great achievement. Thank you, Top 7 over 70 Gala Committee. Just to put it in numerical terms, as you'll note in the program, we're proud to say that since we started 6 years ago, our digital platform, which matches senior talented, and there's lots of senior talent out here tonight, with burgeoning young, bright entrepreneurs and their companies, we proudly have made 1,400 matches. That's extraordinary. That's better than plenty of fish. And so we say to all you seniors, all you talented people, don't retire, just rewire, go on our website, sign up, and be an advisor. It's inspiring, it's uplifting, and it's transformational in terms of our community. We're also proud to say that while we have an investment fund, this team, our board, our Leverage volunteers have used our investment fund, about $8 million, to help raise money for growth companies in the province of Alberta to keep them in Alberta. So often, tragically, companies get to the growth level of $2 or $3 billion in gross revenues, dollars in gross revenue, and then they're off to Vancouver, Toronto, or Montreal for their capital, and they relocate there. We're keeping them here. We've helped raise over $200 million for Alberta companies. And to use the young people's language, it's all about combustion. And Sandy Gilbert and our super team have been organizing combustion events, connection events, education events, development events over the past 6 years. And we proudly say to you, join us, be one of the 5,000 people who've come to our events to get uplifted, get better understanding of the technology language, to mentor a youth, to move enterprise along in our province for a better tomorrow. So, with your support and our track record, we look forward to expanding our platform and having more companies grow our inventive and innovative enterprise economy in the province of Alberta. That's for the future of our kids, for the future of our kids' kids, and the future of all of us to make Alberta a much better and diversified place. So, in conclusion, we, the Intergen team, are so grateful for your support. From the very top of our heart to the bottom of our heart, we say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Brian. So let me explain a little bit about Brian teased here. There's a fundraiser and it's a one-off. It's a silent auction, but it's a one-off and it's a doozy. This is courtesy of Stephanie and Brian Fileski, WestJet, Larry and Jan Fickner. There, wait, can you feel them trying to find the light? I know. Ambassador Limousines. This is what it is. A trip for 4 on WestJet, anywhere they fly, luxury accommodations, limousine service. I'm pretty sure when you get on the jet, you're not turning right, you're turning left. And here's what you got to do. Brian is so convinced that this is, I think one of the opening bid is already close to $25,000. So you might need to get a couple of your friends in on this. But here's the deal. It's so good that Brian says, wherever you are, if you're at a swishy hotel in Milan and you want room service, you don't even have to call room service. We will give you Brian Fileski's cell number. He will go there and iron your underwear and serve you food. Whatever you want, that's how luxurious it is. So you want to get in on that. And I joke, but I don't know if you ever had Brian Fileski iron your underwear. It's a big deal and well worth it. So get in on that. You scan, there's a QR code on the table. We put it up, but don't worry, it's on your table as well. So to help support Intergen and to make this a great cause, you can start that. And I'm pretty sure the bidding's going to end in a little over an hour and a half. So you want to get in on that as soon as you can. The other things I want to tell you about before we meet our first top 70 person is we want to thank, I saw George walking through. Usually I can pick George out because of the quietness and whispery voice that he has. George Brookman is here. Them and WCD put together this, oh, look at that. George, where are you? Oh, look at that. George is coming out of his shell, everybody. Isn't that nice that we had it happen here? So they're the ones that generously printed up the program. Inside the program, you're going to see a day pass to Heritage Park. There's a great partnership with Top 7 Over 70 and Heritage Park. We're going to start doing some displays at Heritage Park to celebrate some of the great things we're doing. And it's not just because Heritage Park has old stuff there and they wanted to partner with this. It is because they know a good thing when they see it. And that's why we're going to be doing that here. Also, before we meet our first recipient tonight, we have some former recipients with us here this evening. I'm going to say their names. They're going to stand. And if I missed your name, I'm so sorry, but stand anyway. And if you think you deserve an award, stand too. Why not? Don Taylor's with us. Marge Southern's with us. Marjorie Zingle is with us. Bob Braun is here. Listen to this, Murray McCann, Shirley Saju, Don Seaman, John Lacey, stand up all of you. The rest of us, let's recognize these former Top 7 Over 70s. So good. Congratulations again, you're still inspiring to us and we're thrilled that you came back. So now we're gonna meet two recipients, 1 and 2, and then we're gonna have dinner. Let me tell you how this is gonna work. I'm gonna say a recipient's name. We're all gonna applaud like mad. Then that recipient is gonna come up here, they're gonna sit here, I'm gonna sit here, and then we're gonna play a video that we recorded of them. Then after the video, I'm gonna have a conversation and we're gonna find out a bit more about them. Then we're gonna present the award by one of our generous sponsors, and then they're gonna head off and we're gonna have the next one. Very simple, very straightforward. Are we ready for it? So this is the part where we clap. Just one sec, not yet. The first of our Top 7 Over 70 who wasn't crazy about having to go up first, but she's here anyway. Would you please welcome with me, Tanya Williamson. Come on up here, Tanya. Hello. I'm not going to talk to you yet because we get to watch a video all about you. Let's have a look at that. After 45 years as an executive in the institutional investment management industry and a lifetime of volunteering with children, the arts, and healthcare, Tanya has picked up the pace since turning 70. She serves as a chair of the Mount Royal University Foundation, is on the Shevchenko Foundation Investment Committee, is past chair of the Ukrainian Orthodox Church of Canada Foundation, and continues to advise firms in corporate and pension fund governance. When the 2022 invasion of Ukraine took place, Tanya spearheaded a fundraising push for the Canada-Ukraine Foundation, raising close to $1 million, and quickly took action helping war refugees settle in Canada. She then got a phone call from Cindy, who had retired and saw an opportunity to help war refugees, had welcomed an immigrant family into her home, and needed someone to help. Tanya stepped up in a big way.
I was not familiar with the Ukrainian culture or the language, and since she is Ukrainian herself and really heavily involved in the Ukrainian community, she gladly came to my aid.
I met the Ukrainian family here, Ivana and her mother, and her daughter, who was 6 months at the time. I was chauffeuring them to medical appointments, buying groceries.
And housing, their resume, they embraced her, and Tanya has now become a part of their family as well.
I'm an immigrant, came to Canada. At that time, there were no aid programs. It was really the community. You can't just give people money and leave them alone.
They say it takes a village. She's been heavily involved in community activities, volunteerism, all her life.
I hate this term giving back because it's as if nobody's ever given until they've made a ton of money. And in essence, I think people give all the time. I believe in the goodness of people.
She's an inspiration that there's wonderful things I can still do even when I'm retired.
If you're not busy and you're at home by yourself, your thoughts can drift into all kinds of negative areas. But as soon as you get out, you forget about yourself. You're busy interacting with other people.
Well, first of all, congratulations. How does it feel to be sitting up here?
Well, I think it's finally become real. Because when I first heard about it, I thought, what have I really done? There's so many people. I've been at these events since they started. They've been very inspirational, and I certainly, compared to the previous award winners, did not think of myself as a serious candidate. But today it's for real, and I thank everybody and Jim for having the idea, and everybody that I've been involved with. It's been great fun and very fascinating.
You talked about giving back and not being crazy about that term, which I agree with you. And a lot of people, when they're, say, a little older, they kind of help out. They'll write a check, they'll go play some golf, they'll write another check, go play more golf. You didn't do that. You got right in there and got to work. Why that?
Well, I'm not used to sitting around. It's actually strange to be sitting in this seat. Probably I'd be not standing, but I have a tendency to run. I had a neighbor once, and we were going to the film festival in Toronto, and we were walking, and she said to me, well, why are you running? What's the hurry? Well, I wasn't even aware that I was running. There's always things to do, and I certainly, I was asked about what did I think about aging, and I never thought about aging. I just thought, you live day to day, and you do things, you meet people, you get involved, you give time, you give support, encouragement, and we all give money at some point or other. But I think the important thing is to be kind to each other and to just remember that, we're all people, we're not all perfect, and we don't always have great days, and just to carry on.
When I watched your video, I'm a guy that now and then I can get sad or I'm not sure. And when you said, well, get out and get busy, it makes a difference. And I take something from that. It does make a difference to say, I'm not going to sit and just sit in my thoughts. I'm going to get out.
Well, that's right. My mother lived to be 101, and I really didn't think of myself as I've never thought of myself as a senior. But about 5 years ago, I began to think, gee, what if I live to be as long as my mother? Maybe I better start planning for that and what I'm going to be doing and where I'm going to be living and so forth. But yeah, I think we just have to stay active and physically fit and just do things and meet people, because when you meet people, they energize you. You get, they stimulate your imagination, and that's all very important, just for having a satisfying life.
I wasn't intimidated to do these interviews until I got here and I met your mafia group that you're with here. So these are the folks from your condo. Is that who that I met?
Well, yes.
Where are they? Because they're one. Could you stand up if you're so fit? Let's see you stand up here and wave. There they are, and there they are. They're your workout partners at the condo. I should say, because Jim Gray would hit me over the head, you can be very fit and not stand. That happens as well. But talk a little bit about fitness, because I think that is a piece to aging well, isn't it?
Well, it is, and there's different ways of being fit. You can go to exercise classes, but I think the main thing is when you get up in the morning, you have to do a few things, go for a walk. There are so many things you can do to stay fit, but I think particularly, you really have to be active, and it's easy to be fit these days. You can go over to one of the supermarkets, you can pick up a few weights, that you do. I started doing yoga when I was 13, I still do yoga. I do it before I go and work out in the gym. Because it makes me move. You know, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be moving. My physio said to me, you know, you'd probably be in a wheelchair or something. So I'm not ready for that.
It was sweet. Well, sweet. I was talking to you and your mafia sisterhood over there, and I said, well, I'm going to ask you about, you know, it's not just about writing a check. And one of them said, write a check? I just e-transfer. Where were you from? So I got that going for me. I think the inspiration for me that I take is not only do you get active and you do what you do, and then you still run boards. I'm not thinking of your mom, I'm thinking of you. When I get older, when I grow up, I want to be you. So thank you very much for being here. Tanya Williamson is our first recipient. Let's hear it for her. Yeah. Woo! Now, you can stand here. Now, I want to introduce Sharon Watkins from Sandstone Asset Management is going to come up here, one of our great sponsors. Hi there. And we're going to present you with this beautiful award. That's for you.
Oh, look at that. For you. Thank you. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you, everybody.
Oh, it's so good of you to be here. Thank you both.
Thanks.
And you, now, we're going to keep those awards at the front because we didn't want them balling throughout the ceremony. But thank you both so much for being here.
Sure.
Now, isn't that great? I could have spoken all day, but I want to get through all 7. So our next recipient, a lot of you know him through his philanthropic work and through his work in the entertainment industry. Would you welcome to the stage, Mr. Tom Jackson. Come on up, Tom. Welcome. Nice to have you here, brother. Have a seat. When I grow up, I want to have Tom Jackson's voice. But before we hear that voice, Tom, let's have a look at your video. When COVID shut us down, Tom, who had turned 70 the year before, got to work. Building community, he hosted a 12-episode online series, put on a virtual Huron Carol, raising $250,000, collaborated with the CPO for a 4-episode music and dance special, continued development on the musical theater production Blue Water, and then began to work in a lead role on CTV's Sullivan's Crossing. And through it all, Tom picked up a new challenge, volunteering with Alpha House. But he's not just lending his name and producing a branding piece in collaboration with them. He's out in the vans working with, as he calls them, his angels.
When I was 38 years old, I was addicted to drugs. And in that craziness, I had a visitor. And that visitor said to me, Tom, I'm going to make you a deal. I used to be a pool player, so I like deals. I'll make you a deal. He said, I'm going to send you an angel. And that angel is going to be worse off than you. And if you help that angel, I'm going to help you. I took the deal.
Something happened to him as he approached 70 that he was like a young man again. His energy just oozes through any project that he cares to take on.
What I wanted to do was to help others one-on-one. So I started working with the dope team. I started transporting people, angels, if you will. So I'd call dispatch, I got 2 angels in the back.
He doesn't sit back and let the younger people do it. At 70, he said to me, I've now brought all of the bits together.
See, I found that what I did became very significant when I started doing it for somebody else. That's my oxygen. And I'll keep finding it as long as I stay on the path of finding that angel that's worse off than me.
Tom, it's great to have you with us. I was thinking about talking about elders when I started. Does it feel odd or good that you're an elder?
There are a couple of things about being an elder that are truly exceptional. One of them is that there are elders' rules. And the top rule is you don't do anything before 11 o'clock in the morning. Just don't do it. It's very inspiring, validating, and mostly, I think, motivating to realize that all that you have accumulated in the world becomes priceless if you share it. It loses its value if you don't share it. Knowledge in particular, love in particular, both of those things are the economy of the future. Priceless. But they lose their value if you don't share it.
How is it on the TV show? I was thinking when you described, when you started in television, when you got into the entertainment industry, you were that young, keen guy like a lot of us were. And now seeing you there, you have to be, you not have to be, you get to be around these young people and you look at them and what is it that you can give them and how is it to hang out with these young folks?
A couple of things. I get that question often. And I would tell young people two things. One of them is to make sure you know your lines. Be confident. But remember that if you can't remember your lines, you can't act. And the other one is hold your head high. Realize that how you look is your equity. So hold your head high. Don't spend your time looking at the cracks in the sidewalks. You won't recognize how blue the sky is if you don't hold your head high.
After we present you with the award, because it's Tom Jackson, you're not going to have Tom Jackson come and not sing a song, right? So you're going to, yeah, isn't that great? Tell us a bit what you're going to sing.
I have a musical in the works, and it's going to be presented by Theatre Calgary. It's going to be presented by Rainbow Stage in Winnipeg, 6 theaters out east, and there's a world tour planned. That might really and should be a welcoming note, no pun intended. But in this day and age, we are confronted that our canvas is one of water, wind, and fire, conflict. But in the forefront of that is compassion, empathy, hope, faith, love. Not the word, but the verb. Love is a verb. And this musical is a love story between the human and Mother Earth. And it's called Blue Water.
I love that song. All right. Michael Brown is going to come up here. He's here from Trico's Living Well, and he's going to come up and present the award, and then we'll get you set up for the song. So let's welcome Michael up to the stage to present this award to Mr. Tom Jackson, our second top 7 over 70 recipient.
The president will be so happy that I'm standing up here with you. Congratulations.
Try this.
Hey, there you go.
You get an award, but you can't keep it because you got more work to do here, Tom.
Okay.
How about that? Come on over here, Tom. Is it just me or is he wickedly good looking, this guy? Wow. So these are two. We're going to take, after Tom sings, we're going to bring out our supper. And then after supper, we're going to have 5 more. The same as this, where you're going to go, man, I got a lot of work to do, don't I? That's how it's going to be. We have business advice, we have life advice, we have insights from all walks of life. But I'm not saying Tom has to sing for his supper, because that would come off really crass, I think. But in a way, Tom, that's kind of what's going to happen. Once you sing, then we all get to have supper. So let's hear it one more time for Tom Jackson.
Let me just say there's another tradition that goes on here. So, I'm going to sing, and I'm going to say, okay, that's it. And you're all going to jump to your feet and go more, and yell, and go crazy. And then I might sing another one, and that'll be that. In her eyes, we will always be equals. One blue drop in her forest rain. Hear her voice in the cry of the eagles, singing love is gonna lead the way. We all need blue water. We all need to lead the way. We all need blue water. We all need to lead the way. We'll sail the 7 seas and find a new direction. Thirsty tears we will wash away. There are thorns in the crown of perfection, but love is gonna lead the way. We all need blue water. We all need to lead the way. We all need blue water. We all need to lead the way. There will always be rainbows. There will always be a better day. I believe there's a kingdom in tomorrow, and a child of love will lead the way. The world's future is in our hands. It is our home and our native land. We all need to understand. We all need blue water. We all need to lead the way. We all need blue water. We all need to lead the way.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, and good night. Okay, settle down now. You can dance every dance with a guy who gives you the eye, let him hold you tight. You can smile every smile with a man who held your hand beneath the pale moonlight. And don't forget who's taking you home and in whose arms you're gonna be. And darling, Oh, I know that the music's fine like sparkling wine. Go and have your fun. Laugh and sing, but while we're apart, don't give your heart to anyone. And don't forget who's taking you home and in whose arms you're gonna be. And darling, baby, don't you know I love you so? Can't you feel it when we touch? I will never ever let you go. Oh, I love you oh so much. You can dance, go and carry on till the night is gone and it's time to go. And if he asks, are you all alone? Can I walk you home? You must tell him no. And don't forget who's taking you home and in whose arms you're gonna be. And darling, save the last dance for me. Say the last dance for me.
Hey, Tom Jackson. Tom is going to take a short break. He's going to come back and sing 40 or 50 more tunes for us in just a bit. So thank you very much, Tom. Congratulations again. You're a good man. Thank you. No one even saw that. That's Tom Jackson. Okay, we're gonna eat our food. Isn't this great? It's like the show is already off the rails and we haven't even got to supper yet. We're gonna have supper. I'll be back in a bit and we're gonna meet 5 more outstanding 7 over 70s. Enjoy your meal. We'll be back soon. Isn't that great? Now, I'm about to introduce our premier, but before I do, I just want everyone here to know she made all the food tonight. She cooked all the desserts. That was her work, and I'm just so thrilled that you had like a time running a restaurant, did you not? So, hi everyone. We have so many great things to do and so many great people to meet, and to start it all off for this part of our evening, I would like to welcome our Premier to give us a few words and a few of her thoughts. Would you please welcome with me Premier Danielle Smith.
Well, let's thank Dave Kelly, who really does such an amazing job hosting this event. He's just fantastic. And I have to, you all know that my husband does the cooking, I do the dishes. So if there's any leftover dishes that need to be done, they can call me back there. And thank you so much to Jim Gray, who has done such an incredible job of building an event that is really iconic, I think, in Calgary. And every time I come here, and I had a chance to be here for 2021, I just always say, oh, I wish every city had this. So I'm so delighted that I'll be able to participate in the one in Medicine Hat when they get that going next year. Totally, thank you. How many Edmontonians are in the room? I've met a few of you. No one wants to admit it? I didn't ask you if you're an Oilers fan. I know that there are some quiet Edmontonians in the room, and I'm just going to put it out there. I'd love to be able to participate in this event in Edmonton as well. And also to Monica Zarowski, who has done such a tremendous job as chair of the 2023 Top 40 over 70, Top 7 over 70. But for all of your hard work and to honor the outstanding Albertans who were celebrating this evening, I have to tell you that when I went to the one in 2021, I just recently got reacquainted with Dr. Bonnie Kaplan, who is continuing the incredible work that she is doing in making sure that we look at the whole picture of health and prevention for those over age 70. She's still hard at it. And also all of the honorees tonight, I can't wait to hear more of their stories. I know Mayor Jody Gondek was here this evening. I'd like to thank her for her leadership of this world-class city. I hope she is still here this evening. And I would just say it's also a real honor to be here this evening to recognize that age is just a number and does not reflect anyone's ability to contribute meaningfully to society. Top 7 over 70 is a brilliant program. I remember when I was first told about it, I was told that it's not honoring legacy work. You have to have done something extraordinary after age 70, which I think is just such a brilliant way to put this program forward. It reminds us that seniors have decades of hard-won knowledge, experience, and insights that are invaluable to our communities. That's something we could call gray power, with a nod not only to Jim's vision, but also his last name. But it's the energy and ideas and determination that each of this evening's honorees is known for. Each of you has made a significant difference in the lives of others, and you continue to do so. And in doing so, you inspire all of us. You show us what's possible as you make Calgary and Alberta a better place to live. You give us hope for the future, and you motivate us to follow your example. Now that is great power. And I hope that a few decades down the road, I'm still as involved in building something great as today's honorees are. In celebrating each of you this evening, we're letting Calgarians and Albertans know that seniors are making this city and this province healthier and happier and more prosperous than you found it. And what a perfect fit that the proceeds from this gala will go to Intergen. For those of you who don't know, I guess we do now, Intergen matches experienced individuals with young entrepreneurs, creating powerful multi-generational teams that help re-energize our economy. And Brian Fileski, I want to applaud the work that you and Intergen are doing and the work that you and Jim Gray have done together, collaborating to make this evening's event so successful. Once again, that is Gray power. And congratulations to all this evening's honorees. I look forward to hearing more about your contributions during your interviews with Dave.
Brian Fileski wanted me to remind you that if you would like him to iron your underwear, just drop them off at his table. No, don't do that. Get in on that silent auction. Those of you that think, I have so much money, I don't know what to do with it, this is a perfect place to know what to do with it. And so if you can, it would help Intergen. Now, I have to tell you about Top 7 in a box before we bring up our next recipient. There are some folks who are in seniors housing who couldn't be here tonight, but we're packaging the evening together and we're going to show it to them. And we wanted to start it by making them feel welcome. And they said to me, can we just get the people to wave at the camera? And I said, do the wave? And they said, no. These people cannot do the wave. And I sort of took that on as a challenge because I thought, you don't think they can do it? So we have 2 camera crews here. I'm going to step down if it gets feedbacky. Okay, see this camera over here? That's your good camera. So when I say go, starting on this side, we're going to do the wave all the way to that side, and don't face me, face that camera. And if you think to yourself, why am I doing this? You're doing it because there's going to be some person in a wheelchair in a senior's home going, holy cow, did they really just do that? And I'll say, yeah, they did. Okay, so this is, I know there's enough celebrities and big wigs in the room to say, am I really going to do this? Yeah, so we're facing these 2 cameras, looking that way. When I say go, we're going to start over here. We're going to yell and wave all the way to that side, to that camera. Everybody ready? This is going to be the greatest single moment of your life. Starting, ready, in 3, 2, 1, over there, go, stand up, wave, look, keep it going, look at this. Come on, come on. You can say, the event was all right, and then I don't know what happened. What a great night. So thank you very much for that. And there's some folks who are going to be so grateful for that experience. Now, we're going to go through the next 5. And to start us off, he's ready, isn't he? There he is. I can see him right there. Would you welcome to the stage our next top 7 over 70 recipient, Ron Gitter. Come on up here, Ron. Welcome, my friend.
Can I do the wave?
You can do whatever you want. You're a recipient. You sit down. You relax while we watch your video.
After turning 70, Ron has served as director at Tennis Canada with a vision to bring a world-class facility to Calgary. Over 7 years, he worked tirelessly with the City of Calgary to secure location, raise funds, oversee design and construction, and form a board of directors, all on a volunteer basis. The Austin Victor Alberta Tennis Centre offers high-performance training programs, introductory lessons, and partnerships with local schools. In 2022, the centre hosted the prestigious Calgary National Bank Challenger, drawing professional players from around the globe. But that's just one of his recent projects. In 2021, along with colleagues and family, he founded the Dignity Forum. The Dignity Forum emphasizes human rights advocacy, community collaboration, and education. They've hosted a 2022 conference and have formed partnerships with key institutions like the Canadian Museum for Human Rights, the John Humphrey Centre for Peace and Human Rights, and the Calgary Board of Education.
Lately, I've seen this great incidence of bigotry and prejudice growing, not just the Jewish community. So we decided we put together the Dignity Forum. We brought some really good people on board, advisors and directors. And the idea was just to start reacting to what we're seeing out there.
He's been involved in these issues for his whole life. And to stay with something that has so many ebbs and flows and that doesn't have easy answers and that requires commitment and community to solve is really something else.
When you look in terms of what Calgary's going to become and the growth of our city and our province with the new immigration, and I welcome it, they will be very important to us. And so there are big issues out there right now as to how we deal with our newcomers and how we accept them and how we deal with our minorities. Try to work to make our community a better place, not just for white people, but for everyone.
He just wants to learn about people, he wants to know about what's going on in their lives, and he wants to know about what's going on in the world. That combination of warmth, curiosity, and just genuine interest really draws people to him.
I've been very lucky, very, very, very lucky with a beautiful wife and family and all those nice things. So I'm a very fortunate person, and you have to be grateful for that.
Welcome, Ron. How does it feel to see that?
Well, it's a little overwhelming, but I think an event like this is so special, and I have a lot of gratitude and humility. I really think that if we got Jim Gray and Brian Valesky and Steve Allen, when they get to be over 70, they can be up here instead of me.
If they just put a little effort in, don't you think that'd be good?
It'd be a good idea.
Tell me a little bit about the center, the Dignity Forum, and especially, I mean, we recorded your talk a few weeks ago, and the world still obviously needs so much. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, it is. What's going on in the world today, it certainly is very difficult and really takes away from your feelings in the sense that I've always been a believer and tried to lead a life where what we do is we respect every individual, no matter their color, their religion, their sexual orientation, whatever it might be. And I think we treat people that way, and that has always been something that I think is part of Canada. It's part of our thinking process. And when you see what's going on in the world today, it's really sad that you have that type of feelings. I'm not going into the pluses or the minuses. The fact is that there are things happening out there right now that are really wrong from all points of view. And it's sad that we're a society can't get along. And I guess that's the history of the world, that we don't seem to get along. And if we treated everybody equally with compassion and with love, maybe we wouldn't have all those things going on, Dave. So we've got a lot of work to do.
So Your daughter, Corey, who we all got to see in the video, she wasn't able to be here tonight because she was away. So I sent her a note. I said, hey, Corey, tell me something about your dad. Give me some dirt. And she didn't. And then I said, okay, then fine. What's one thing you learned from your dad? So I'll read it what she said. She said, one thing. How do I keep it to one thing? Well, he trained me how to argue. And she said, the training continues. We argue all the time, and I mean all the time, which drives my kids crazy, but they seem to have acquired the skill as well. I think I win most of the arguments, but he might disagree. And then she ended with, I'm so full of love and pride, and I'm glad my daughter Sophie is there with Grandpa.
Yes, so am I.
Tell me.
But, Dave, I have to say they're not arguments. They're just discussions. And there's a difference. But we enjoy it, don't we, Sophie? It's all good.
Good.
Her mother is in Dublin right now speaking at an international conference. So that's why she's not here. So she sent me a note today to say, be careful. Be careful.
So another low achiever in the family, obviously, speaking in a major conference. What's the secret to raising kids? Because I'll steal your ideas.
Oh, I'm no specialist in that area. You're lucky if your kids grow up to be what you hope they will be, but they lead their own lives, and they come into a community and they do what they do. You back them up wherever you can, but they're on their own when they get to a certain age, and you just hope that it'll work out.
You mentioned the Dignity Forum. Your daughter mentioned arguing, but there is a way to argue or to discuss opposite sides and do it with dignity, isn't there?
I think dignity is an important word, and I think as I've traveled around this province over the years when I was an MLA and the like, and we did that Keystra investigation, you learn that there's always a segment of our population that with something in their hearts is something that you don't know how they got there, the bigotry and the like that's there. But the 95% of the people we met as we traveled Alberta for 18 months, they were good, solid people wanting to have a roof over their heads and to have their kids get an education, just those very basic things. But they don't seem to get the attention anymore. Social media has become, in many respects, a very destructive force. And so you can have some loony sitting in the basement of their home spewing forth all kinds of hatred and bigotry and prejudice. And that's not where we are. That's not what people think. That's not what goes on in this room. The people that are here today are the people that organized and volunteered for this wonderful event. So we've got to kind of deal with that 10% and make our young people understand that they don't represent us, that you're not born a bigot, it comes from somewhere else. But you've got to realize that we're all fair-minded people, and that's what Canada's all about.
Well, we're very fortunate that Diane Ballon is with us here from the Alberta Blue Cross, and she wanted to present the award to you. Can we recognize Ron Gitter, not for the years of service that you had, but for the work you're doing right now?
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Ron. While they're doing the photo, I'll tell you a quick Ron story. My brother, Rob, who is the behind the camera guy, and I think he's somewhere behind these curtains here, he was the one that did the videos, and he sent me the entire Ron video. And he said, I want to do that when I'm Ron's age. So Ron and all of us are inspired by his work, and we're so lucky that he's a man in our province. So thank you so much, Ron. Our next top 7 over 70 recipient, would you please welcome to the stage the man who looks like a walking Stampede poster, John Scott. Come on up here, John.
Good. Thank you. Very good. Thank you.
All right, before we get to chat, let's have a look at your video.
In May of 2023, the Cannes Film Festival honored Calgary, Alberta as the recipient of the Location of the Year award. There are 3 primary locations in the Calgary area the film industry uses. One of those places is Scott Ranch, and the man running that ranch is John Scott. Since turning 70, he's provided cattle and horses to the Calgary Stampede. You see his ranch on Heartland. You've also seen it on films ranging from Diablo to Legends of the Fall. If you've seen a horse or horse rider on TV and the location looks like southern Alberta, chances are great you're looking at a person or horse John's mentored, coached, or brought to the province. John also actively mentors members of the First Nations communities he sends his cattle to for grazing. John is actively working behind the scenes, is a lead opinion maker for the film industry, and someone to whom all levels of industry and government turn to for background and advice.
When you talk about the real deal, John Scott lives by the cowboy code. So he's one of the last guys that I can think of that he looks you in the eye, shakes your hand.
Grew up in Calgary. I went to school in Calgary. Just there was always a feel about people progressing and the atmosphere of things and how things were moving and shaking.
So John's the kind of guy who just jumps in and gets things done. Show up, do the job, and get on with the next job.
Just don't do anything that would embarrass your mother.
Since turning 70, John Scott has only gotten better, I think, gotten more involved.
Well, I guess what keeps me going now is I like my job. It's different every morning. Every morning you go to work, it's another challenge, and it's uplifting. And so I guess that's what keeps me going, is meeting all the people, the strange people, the good people, the bad people, the wonderful people.
I think he'll continue to be a big player in the film industry for Alberta. And who would you rather have in your corner than John Scott?
I thought I was watching a movie there, John. It's great. How does it feel? How does it feel to be here?
It's absolutely wonderful. It's overwhelming, and it's a very distinguished award. I got to thank Jim Grace for being such a visionary to put this together, and all his committee that helps him and makes such a wonderful gala evening for all of us.
I got to tell you, when we were talking before this event, if you want to understand what makes a top 7 over 70 person, so one of the committee folks was phoning John about tonight. And she said, I can't really hear you. And John says, I'm on my horse in the middle of a cattle drive. And that embodies everything. Here in Calgary, we glorify cowboys. We talk about and cowgirls and cow people. But what's at the heart of being a great cow person?
The heart of being a great cow person, as Don Cherry would say, that's a good question. I'll get back to you on that. But I guess it's the fundamental business of stewardship, looking after the land. If you got your land in good shape, you can raise cattle, alpacas, llamas, raccoons, whatever you want to do. But you have to look after nature, and you can learn so much from nature that just look at how animals behave. You don't mess with nature.
Tell me, as a city person, and a lot of us in this room are, what can we learn from horses?
Horses are the greatest animal there is for teaching people things. They're used for therapy horses for special needs kids and people and things like that. And they can become your greatest friend. They're like people. They're all individuals. They're all a character. You got your stampede bucking horses. They're like the barroom brawlers. And you've got the cutting horses. They're like the ballerinas. And you've got horses that are clumsy. And you've got horses that are athletic. And they're just such a noble animal. There's a place for every horse there is. And I've been very fortunate to be involved with 3 great venues: Calgary Stampede, their bucking horse program, and what they do with horses. Heritage Park, what they do with the horses in the background there, and Spruce Meadows. There's upper echelon of the horses.
It's all there. Now I have to say, I was sitting down with my wife Blythe, and I said, okay, I'm doing these interviews, and I was talking about you, and I said, I want to ask him something big and deep and meaningful. And she said, I know. Can you ask him what Brad Pitt's really like? So what's Brad Pitt really like, John?
He's just a wonderful man that's very kind of low-key. He's kind of a humble man. He'd never ridden a horse before he came to us on Legends of the Fall, and he rode 7 different horses on that show, and he wanted everything to be perfect and made it look good. And he's just fantastic. And he was going through hard times. Paparazzi was chasing him all the time, and it wasn't much fun for him, really.
That's great. There. Now I can say I can go home tonight and we're good. Okay, before we let you go, what do you love about Alberta?
Alberta's, I think, one of the greatest provinces in Canada. We've got so much scenery. We're the only province in Canada that's won 7 Academy Awards. Most have been for photography, which gives you an example. But I'll give you a quick example. There'll be Days of Heaven, there'll be Unforgiven, there's Legends of the Fall, there's Jesse James, there's Shanghai Noon, Brokeback Mountain, and The Revenant. That's 7 fantastic pictures that explore Alberta's heritage. And in another form, it's another form of tourism. An American comes here, or Canadian, whatever, they got a fistful of 50s, they want a bang for their buck. And where do they get it better than right here in Alberta? And you do a great show, like say Legends Fall, goes around the world. It's another place of tourism in a way which attracts people here. Where was that made?
Isn't that great? John, thank you so much. And I just feel lucky to get to hang out with you here. And we have Kirsten Sauter is joining us now from Shell. Hi there. She's going to come up and present the award.
I'd just like to give you one minute of your time.
You take it.
I'd just like to get it out there and thank a great guy that we've got here with us tonight. Tom Jackson just won an award earlier today for Companion of the Red Cross. There's only 37 people in Canada have won that. So let's have an applause for Tom Jackson and his deal. Thank you.
Great. I can feel it. You're a passionate guy. When things matter, they matter, don't they?
Well, they have to.
That's great. Well, let's have a presentation. Come on up here, Kirsten. This is John Scott, another legend of our South.
Thank you.
Congratulations. What other event are you going to go to where somebody says fistful of 50s?
Thank you.
This one.
Thank you very much.
So good. Fistful of 50s. And if I said that, I would look like the biggest dork in the world. But when John Scott says it, you're like, yep, that sounds about right there. Isn't it? Our next top 7 over 70 recipient is joining us now. Would you please welcome Janice McTighe? Come on up here, Janice. Welcome. Welcome. Janice, you didn't come in here on a horse. You can just relax.
Okay.
And we're going to watch your video.
As kids with special needs continue to face limited opportunities, Janice McTighe has once again emerged as a leader. Since turning 70, she's led the creation of the Renfrew Educational Services Foundation, dedicated to supporting Renfrew School's future. Janice's visionary leadership expanded Renfrew's outreach, forging partnerships with the Stoney Nakoda and Tsuut'ina communities. She's championed specialized sensory rooms, Rennie the service dog, and 2 greenhouse educational centers. And now, guided by Janice's vision, Renfrew is embarking on a $30 million journey to build a new high school, a place of hope for families with kids who have outgrown the Renfrew elementary schools. It's a drive that started with a young Janice and a choice she made.
When I started out, it was more like desperation. I needed a job. I had 4 children under the age of 5 and a half. Here you are. What are you going to do now? Nobody's going to rescue you. I'm not the princess. Started small, just one little classroom.
She has created this culture in there. When Janice engages in conversation with others, you can see how they are just brought into the fold.
I know that I have a passion for what I do. I mean, we're in a building that we get to see kids every day. Families come
come and talk to us about how wonderful their experience has been. I'm not ready to give that up yet.
We have been able to develop some wonderful relationships, some wonderful partnerships out there. And of course, that is all led by Janice. In the last 10 years, it's really been around taking that even to the next level.
We're really important to us to be out front and ahead of the game.
I have been one of those that have felt that need and that draw to learn from her and be part of what she has created.
There's a joy in watching kids develop. It really keeps your spark and your joy about what you're doing alive.
Hi, Janice.
Yes.
Thanks so much for being here. How does it feel to be sitting up here?
Well, it's a pretty amazing feeling. I just not sure I really belong up here, but it's very exciting, and I'm so grateful for those that thought I was worthy. And yeah, it's overwhelming, really. It's just overwhelming.
Well, I'll tell you what's overwhelming. When I read about the work you're doing, so imagine you spend all your youthful years working hard to build a school, and then you get to retire, and you say, I'm just gonna sit around and hang out, but not you. You decide to take on a huge capital campaign. Where does that energy come from to say, no, this is something I still wanna do?
Well, I love what I do. I love to be with the kids, and I think when we watch those little children change and develop, maybe they take their first steps, maybe they say their first words. It's so inspiring, and we know that those children need more. We only go to grade 6, and we know that junior and senior high are really important to develop the children right to reach their full potential, look at work experience, and preparing them for the future. So who wouldn't want to do that? It's so exciting and rewarding.
Well, and I know, and we were talking about a mutual friend that we met through, and I know all of us that have had kids, everybody says, well, is it a boy or a girl? And then everyone says, I don't know, I don't care, as long as they're healthy. Mm-hmm. Well, what happens when they aren't? Then that's where folks like Janice show up and say, it's okay, we're gonna work through this. And there are families around the city and around the province who now sat up at night going, what happens after grade 6? What happens after grade 8? What happens after grade 9? And because you have decided to make this campaign work, they now will have a high school to go to. And that's thanks to you and thanks to your team. So on behalf of all of them, thank you for doing that.
Well, thank you. Well, we all know that it's not one person that does all this. We have a whole community of people and wonderful staff, great board members, community supporters like Jim. Great. Jim and I have been working together for 30 years, believe it or not. And my board chair, 27 years. I got this fabulous staff. So all of those people make this wonderful community for children with disabilities. And when you come and see us or visit us, we'd love you to come, your heart will be touched by these children. And we do have a big campaign. We have to raise $30 million to build this high school. So if there's anybody out there that's interested, we'd love to hear from you.
Well, Brian Fileski told me that if we raise enough funds on the auction tonight, that whatever is around an extra, that he'll throw it all at you. So he said any $6 or $8 billion, he will send your way. Actually, and this is gonna feel like product placement. If you have a second, you haven't bid on the Brian Fileski thing, please do that now. Tell me about, you have 4 kids.
Uh-huh.
What have you learned from those kids?
Well, I think I learned how to love. I learned about compassion and understanding and trying to be a good mom. But I learned lots from my kids and I love them dearly. But the children that I learned the most from are the children in our schools, because those children show perseverance and commitment to their getting better. You'd be just amazed to see. Maybe we've got some special equipment, lifting one little foot up onto a railing, the energy that it takes. The child that speaks to their parent says they love you for the first time. Those are the children that inspire all of us that are involved with Renfrew and all of the good work that we do. And I have to add the families. Parents have, as we all know, we have a lot of stress and there's a lot of things going on in our lives. If you have a child with a disability, you just tenfold that. And so we bring relief and peace and encouragement and education to parents as well. Yeah, so we're pretty amazing.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Well, you know what? We have Linda Olsen-Engel here from CN.
I have one more thing to say. Yeah. So on March the 13th, Renfrew has their own gala. And we would love to have you there. And we would really like Tom to come and sing there for us. So let's have a big clap for that, for Tom to come and sing at our gala, March 13th. And then because somebody said to me that I should sing, and I thought, well, probably not, but could we all sing The Wheels on the Bus? Because you'll all know that song. So now I'm done. So remember, March 13th.
Do you have anything on Kijiji or anything you want to get sold, or you're good? You're good?
I'm good, thank you.
Oh, you are the best. And we're so thrilled that you're here. And can you not tell, all of us, I want to be like you. I want to say, if something matters, and it doesn't matter what my age is, if something matters, I'm going to get behind it and get behind it with everything I have. That seems worth doing, and I learned.
I have one more thing to say, too. So about 10 years ago, when I was probably having a coffee with Jim Gray, and I said, maybe it's time I retired. He said, don't ever use that word. Don't ever say retire. So here I am, age 82, and I listen to his wisdom.
Yeah.
Come
on.
Yeah, good. Okay, that's it.
Sure?
Anything else, yeah.
Linda, are you allowed up yet? I'm not sure if we're allowed to have you up just yet. Well, congratulations again. Linda, you come on up in from CN. She is going to present you with this, and then if you have anything else to say, you can't. Well, what am I going to, as if you can't.
Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. It's lovely, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. It's so exciting and thrilling to be here. Thank you. Now do I get to hand?
8:50. The WestJet auction closes. 8:50. There. Did I say it? Did I say everything I needed? I think I said everything I needed to say. All right, you guys, are you ready for this? Your big grandfather is going to come up here, so I expect you guys to clap like bananas. All right. Our next top 7 over 70 recipient, would you please welcome to the stage Dr. Benno Nig. Come on up here, Dr. Benno. Welcome. Thank you. Have a chair. Before we chat, here's you.
Walk into any store that sells running shoes, pick up a shoe from any of the major brands, and Benno Nig was likely involved in developing that shoe. Since turning 70, he's helped the University of Calgary's Faculty of Kinesiology land its position as the #1 sports medicine school in North America 2 years in a row. He continues to advise and steer the organizations he founded, the globally recognized Human Performance Lab and Biomechanics Sport and Health Research, who work with brands from Adidas to CCM to On. Their work ranges from advising on brand creation to injury prevention in World Cup soccer tournaments. His academic work as a professor emeritus at the University of Calgary outpaces most academics 40 years his junior. His curiosity is a way for him to keep moving forward.
In the time since Benno has retired, I looked it up. He's published 120 research articles. This is the equivalent of what most people do in their entire career.
10 years ago, my youngest son took over the company that we have. The only thing I have to do is to do research. So I have the best situation at the moment.
He retains this influence on the university, the faculty, but also people around the city, because there's so many people that have studied with him, that have worked with him, and that choose to stay in Calgary.
The big difference between Calgary and Switzerland is that if I want to do something new, in Calgary people say, wow, that's great, can I help you? And in Switzerland, people may say, are you sure you want to do that? I was able to develop a research center that has been recognized as being one of the best in the world. I'm very proud of that.
I think the biggest thing I've learned from him is how to treat other people.
There are many good things when you're older. You are together with the people that you developed your life, your family. That's the most important thing.
Benno, I got to meet your two grandsons over here, and then while I was over there, all of them said how wonderful it was to work with you. How does it feel to be here with them tonight?
Oh, I thought I worked for them. I mean, my youngest son is my boss.
How is he as a boss?
Oh, not too bad.
It's a great night, and we're so proud of the work and that you put Calgary on the world map. Now, a lot of people say aging is a marathon, and you work with marathon runners. What is the secret to aging well?
Not run a marathon.
Why?
No, I mean, you know, if you like to run 10 kilometers, that's as good as a marathon. You have to like it.
Liking it
Yeah.
matters. That's good. I just may need a minute to write that down. You work with great athletes and you work with great people. What do you think is the difference between good and great?
If they are better than me, they are great. No, you know, when you develop something like the Human Performance Lab or a research center, the most important thing is that you attract people that come to you and work with you that are better than you, that are different than you are, that think differently. And then you can start talking to each other and debating and developing and finding something new. And you only can do that when people are better than you are.
And it takes a certain amount to be willing to say they're better because it's hard to do.
Yeah, you don't have to tell them. No, sometimes you have to tell them.
So someone said to me when they knew you would be up here, they said, okay, if you look around this room, if you're a skin doctor, you look at everyone's complexion. And when you are a physiologist, you might look at something else. But when you're Benno, you look at everyone's shoes. What do, I don't want to say seniors, because I get in trouble if I do. What do more experienced people need to know about their footwear?
The footwear has to be comfortable. It has to be comfortable. We have shown that A, performance is better with a comfortable shoe, and B, you have less injury. So if you buy a comfortable shoe, you have both. Less injuries and more performance.
And you heard it from a global expert. Wear comfortable shoes.
No, you know, we have worked in the last about 10 years with a company called On. And that company, they came to us and said, we want to develop a new shoe. Can you help us? And we said, yes, we would like to. And told them the most important thing is that we have a theme, that we have a content, you know. Let's have a word. And we agreed that the word should be comfort, so that when I buy this shoe,
it should be a comfortable shoe. And then we developed the elements that you can put onto that shoe. In this case, they were little clouds. You can develop them that they produce the feeling of comfort. And they are the fastest growing company for running shoes now in the world.
Look at that. So before we present you with the award, you did more research in your later years than most people do their whole career. What keeps you going?
Oh, it's fun. It's really fun, you know, to develop some new concepts, to try to understand the principle of the mechanics, the physiology, and then to develop a product. This is really fun. And some people buy it.
This is so good. I don't want it to go, but I know we have to present an award and we have things to do, but I'm so grateful that all of the folks that we got to meet up here today do such great work. And for you, for putting Calgary and your work literally on a world map makes me proud that I get to live here and makes me proud that I get to sit here with you. So thank you.
Can I say something else?
You can say whatever you want.
I mean, everybody said that, you know.
Yeah, I know. You can sing another song if you want to.
You know, to the yodel.
Yes.
42 years ago, we came to Calgary. So we are middle-aged immigrants. My wife, myself, 4 boys, a nanny, 2 cats. And we had a problem. The problem was that except my wife and the cats, nobody spoke English. I mean, I spoke some biomechanical English with a lot of errors. The kids didn't know English at all. And my wife basically made sure that the first 2 years went well. And it was clear we were immigrants. Now, to receive this award today, for us is something like, I feel we are Calgarians now.
Well, I want to be a Calgarian like you are. That's what I want to be.
Thank you.
Thank you. You know, we have Bonnie DuPont is going to join us now, and she's going to present you with the Top 7 Over 70 award, and we're so proud of you. Bonnie, come on up here and let's present this award to this great, great man.
Thank you.
Benno Nig, Dr. Benno Nig, one more time. I know you've all been saying to yourself, when do we find out about this amazing trip that Brian Fileski has organized for us? Well, to help us set that up, I'm going to bring up WestJet's CFO, Mike Scott. Mike, are you around? Are you ready for this? Where are you? Come on up here, Mike. Let's welcome him to the stage. Hi, Mike. I'm good. Here, let me just check, see if that, look at that.
Sound check, there we go.
So, Mike, before we read the name, tell people a little bit, I mean, I've been joking with Brian, but this is a great, great prize. Talk a little bit about WestJet and their involvement in this.
No, absolutely. And, you know, as we've seen tonight, 7 very, very worthy recipients of recognition tonight. And as you said, you know, it's a little bit about giving back to the community. But I think what we really have here is a group of 7 men and women that are really for others and showing their give back to the community. It's not about them, it's about their community, it's about others in the community, and it's just a very inspiring story and very inspiring group to be with. But from WestJet, we're really excited to be a part of this evening and the money that's raised for this auction going to Intergen as well. And you know, we've brought our strategy back to supporting the Calgary market. We've set up Calgary as a major hub. You mentioned a Dreamliner earlier. Those are all now operating out of the Calgary market into Europe on the transatlantic and into the US as well and into Mexico. So the winner of tonight's auction has a fantastic opportunity to pick a vacation of their dream and hopefully get out of this unfortunate winter weather that hit us earlier today. So without further ado, Ken Wilson is the winner of tonight's auction. And I'm proud to say that Ken donated $30,000 to Intergen. So,
hey, Ken!
Ken, thank you very much. Come on up.
Ken, we'll meet you right over here. Whatever we do, Ken, do you want to sing? No. If you've heard Ken sing, he's a fabulous singer. But you come on up here and you come meet Mike and we'll get that voucher to you. Thank you very much, Mike. And thank you very much, Mr. Wilson, for your contributions as well. Yeah. You better be there for a photo, Ken. When you've spent that much time on your hair, you want a picture. Why don't you get that shot? When you look there... Don't look at that, you two. Thanks, Ken. So, I'll see you again. Thank you, Mike. People say to me, when you do the last one, you need to have a good plot twist. So our last recipient has a great plot twist. Would you welcome to the stage our final top 7 over 70 recipient, Mogan Smed. Come on up here, Mogans. Welcome, my friend.
Nice to see you. Take care, thank you.
So, I had to say, when I recorded the voiceover for your video, I was like, is this right? Have a look.
Falk Built is digitizing interior construction, using a new process that incorporates tried and true construction methods. With their next generation eco technology, they are revolutionizing the way clients build office interiors. Started in 2019, they have grown from 6 Falkers to almost 500, having built and shipped thousands of projects around the world. At the helm, Mogan Smed, who by age 70 had built multiple organizations, including internationally renowned DIRT construction systems. He was leading DIRT, navigating shifting leadership, when he received a call letting him know he'd been fired.
September 10th, they have a call into me, and I knew what it was about. They said, Mogan, just to let you know that we're terminating you. I said, thank you very much. Hung up the phone, and my wife, she says, what are you going to do now, Mogan? And I said, I'm starting over.
I'm sure most people call him Maverick, I would imagine, and once you've met him, you'll understand. So he's very curious. So anything that is going on that he hasn't maybe seen before, you're doing something a different way, he wants to know about it, and he'll grill you until he gets all the answers, and then he's off.
I asked my co-founder, Barry Loberg, can we do something as good as the technology we had at DIRT? He said, Mogan, we could do something 1,000 times more powerful. So that's what motivated me to get going.
He really gets people to evolve and grow. He's created a culture of empowerment.
Strategic planning, all that stuff. I've never done a business plan in my life. And you don't need to do a business plan, you just need to be able to believe in your vision.
Mogan's upbringing is very much an immigrant from Denmark, had tough times and really understood the true value of relationships, loyalty, and through that, the dedication to the community. That's been a big part of my life.
My parents, we came in 1952 to Halifax with $32, the train tickets to Calgary, Alberta. Look at the sacrifice they made for us. We spend our whole life building our community. I would like to think that we can make a little bit of a sacrifice, not just for our family, but for our friends and our community.
Great. So I got to be honest, when Jim Gray said top 7 over 70 is for people who once they pass the age of 70, it's what they do then. I don't know that he meant they had to get fired when they were 70. Talk a little bit about that and how that was just another move for you.
Well, the first thing I want to do is I want to thank my family, my friends, my coworkers for being here. You're the ones that inspire me, and I love you, and thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much.
Great.
Yeah. As far as being fired, if you look at my profile, I've been fired 3 times. You know, the thing about entrepreneurs is that we do business in a different way, and really this award is a vindication of the way that, quite frankly, we do business. And we do business because the most important thing in any business is the culture and the people you have there. They're the ones that bring you. We just survived a pandemic and built a whole new business because of the people and because of the culture that we have. Nothing beats the people. Nothing beats a culture. You know, we've got this new environment that we call it AI versus AI. So artificial intelligence plus actual intelligence is the future of what we do. And I have a lot of actual intelligence, so. Yeah.
When I was doing the voiceover for I said, okay, how do I, F-A-L-K, how do I say that? Because I want to get it right, and it's, say it for me again.
Well, we could play with it a little bit.
Well, this is what I thought, yeah.
Yeah, but that's my middle name. I really started my 3rd business by calling it Timid, T-T-A-M-I-T, which stands for This Time I Mean It. You know, but nevertheless is that, you know, that the only reason that we're back in the business is because of the timing today. What we're doing in manufacturing today and what can be done is amazing using technology. And what we're doing, everybody can do. It changes the game. It changes the way that we do construction. The fact that we've installed jobs already in India, we've installed a job in a mining site in Chile, a soccer stadium in Edinburgh, Scotland, or in Berlin. This is some hick-town company from Calgary, Alberta doing it that nobody else in the world can do right now. But everybody else in the world is going to be able to do it in the years to come, guaranteed.
And that's from here. You talk about culture. Clearly, your ability to create a culture that says, we're going to do it, there's no obstacles too big. Yeah. What's the secret to culture?
Have no managers. Have leaders. Have people that want to lead within the organization and people that are doers that are doing something as opposed to bossing people around.
Now, and I joke with Brian a bit because he's a great man, but Brian Fileski and his team with Intergen, they take young people and say, here's the secret. You say, don't have a business plan. You don't need, what's that about?
It's all, you know, I talk to people that want to be entrepreneurs. I don't know why they would. Is I tell them, don't spend 1 second worrying. Don't worry about whether you're going to run out of money, because you are. Don't worry about whether you're going to make mistakes, because you're going to make hundreds of them. If you have a vision and it's real, you'll get there one way or the other. So back to Brian, you know, we may not be conventional the way that we think, but at the end of the day, there's no short journey to getting there. But as long as you have the right vision and the will to get there, you will get there one way or the other.
Great.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people in this room who are here with friends, or they got invited here, and they're thinking, my gosh, that's intimidating, or I'm not sure I can do that. For the people that think they want to be the next top 7 over 70, what is your sense, or what is your wisdom to say, here's how you can do that?
Well, you know, part of what we talk about is community. You know, we live in the greatest city in the whole darn world. I bored the hell out of a whole bunch of people showing the pictures of my brown trout and my rainbow trout that I got on the Bull River on Saturday, you know, taking people up. We have people from all over the world that come and visit us. We take them to Banff. We introduce them to our culture, to our people. This is the greatest city in the whole world. At end of story. There's no other place. Look what we have here. Sometimes we take it for granted, but it's the greatest city in the whole world. As we said, we came to Canada in 1952, $32 in the train tickets to Calgary, Alberta. Never spoke a word of English. But this city has been so kind to us. We've gone bankrupt, we've failed, and you know, we don't celebrate when someone fails. We celebrate when they get right back up on their feet and they support us in what they do. There's a lot of people in this room that have certainly supported me and our family over the years, so thank you very much.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, I was about to invite someone to present the award, but the last 3 times I tried to do that, I got in trouble. Do you have any final things you'd like to say?
No, I just want to say thank you very much, and this endorses the way that we do business, our value of our people. Those are the ones that got us here in the first place, literally thousands of people, whether it was the people we worked together, or our family, or our friends, or our shareholders, or our clients all over the world. That's why we got here, not because of one individual. I just happen to be the name on the ticket here, but it's 1,000 people that you're endorsing and the way that we do business. So thank you very much. Yeah.
I want to work for you. Well, you know what? We have Jay Westman with us here. Hi, Jay. Come on up here. Jay Westman from Jayman Built is going to present our final Top 7 over 70 award to Mogan Smed. Come on up here.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, Jay. Thank you. All right. Come and stay at the Marriott South, or come to the Chairman's or Alvin's.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
All
Well
right,
done,
thank
Mogan.
you.
I appreciate that. So good. In my notes from listening to Mogan's tape, I wrote, ask about business plan equals bullshit. So that's what we got. Thanks again, Jay, and thanks to all of our sponsors. Okay, all the recipients, before I do any final things, just so we know, we're gonna do a group photo at the end up on the stage. So don't run off with your awards, because we wanna do that. The photos from tonight's event will be available in a couple of weeks on Top 7, the number 7, over 70.com. And if you think in this evening, you think, you know what? I know somebody who should be on that chair next in 2 years. I know somebody who should be doing that. Make sure you go to top7over70.com or bother any of the folks in this room who you know, because we'd love to get those nominations. It means the world that we get such tremendous people up here. Also, I want to thank again our friends from The Hat, all the way from Medicine Hat. We hope you have a great evening, and thank you very much for being here and being our guests. And here's what I'm going to go home and tell my kids about. Tonight, I'm going to say, you won't believe I met Tanya Williamson. I met Tom Jackson. I met Ron Gitter. I met John Scott. I met Janice McTighe. I met Dr. Benno Nigg. And I met Mogan Smed. And each one of them inspired me to be a better dad, to be a better Calgarian, and to be a better person. And we're all lucky. Can we hear it one more time for those Top 7 over 70s? What a night. Congratulations again. Janice, did you want to say a couple more things, or are you okay? You're good? You're good. Tom, another song? We're good? We're all good. Have a great, great evening, everyone. Congratulations again. We'll see you in 2 years. What a wonderful night. Thanks so much. Bye now.